We finish our study of blended learning by looking at some special considerations that you might want to consider for your blended class. These considerations are based on QM standards, our quality matters standards, and they come from the annotations. First off, and the one that has the most changes that you need to consider for the blended class is Standard 1. Standard 1 is the course overview and introduction standard. If you get your students prepared for what to expect during the first week of class, everything else kind of falls into place. But there are actually four specific standards within Standard 1 that are addressed by blended courses. First, Standard 1.1, instructions make clear how to get started and where to find various course components. Make sure your instructions, both the face-to-face and online instructions, make it very, very clear to students what to expect in the online class and what to expect in the face-to-face class, how often they'll participate, what to expect to do in order to participate properly in the face-to-face class, and things like that. Standard 1.2, learners are introduced to the purpose and structure of the course. Again, make sure that you put information in that helps them understand how and why they need both an online and a face-to-face components, because they may not really understand what it means to be in a blended class, and the fact that you're actually, helping them out by less class time, but you're also helping them to be better prepared for the face-to-face class time. So help them understand why both pieces of the class are important, and again what to expect in the different parts. And where you have a blended class that does not meet on a regular basis, make sure that you make it very, very clear up front when the students need to come to campus, and also make sure that they know when not to come to campus. I've had several times students stop by my office wanting to know where professor's class was, and it was a blended class and they weren't meeting that week. So make sure that becomes very, very clear to the student. Continuing with Standard 1, Specific Standard 1.8, the self-introduction by the instructor is appropriate and is available online. Make sure that you put your introduction online, so if for some reason a student didn't make it to that first day of class where you're doing your introductions, they can still get your self-introduction. And same thing, Standard 1.9, learners are asked to introduce themselves to the class. Make sure that that also is online. Even though you might do that face-to-face, you also want to make sure that those students who miss the opportunity to do it face-to-face have the opportunity to do it online. Also, it could be a fun icebreaker to have them do their introduction online, and then when they come to class that first day, see if they can, based on the introductions, figure out who different people are, so you could actually make it into a fun icebreaker activity. Standard 2 has one, Standard 2.3, all learning objectives or competencies are stated clearly and written from the learner's perspective. Make sure that they understand the objectives that they have for the online classroom as well as what they're doing in the classroom. This is just making sure all of those fit and the student understands how they fit together. Standard 4, 4.2, both the purpose of instructional materials and how the material are to be used for learning activities are explained. Again, just make it clear to the student this is what you're going to be doing in the face-to-face classroom. This is what you're expected to do in the online out-of-class portion of the class. And then Standard 5, learning activities provide opportunities for interaction that support active learning. Make sure they're active in the learning both face-to-face and online. Get them involved in both places. Actually, if you do your online portion well, it could lead to better interaction in the face-to-face environment. So be thinking again of how the two pieces of your class, the online and the face-to-face, work together to create the optimal learning situation.